Welcome back to Kid Speed. I wasn't planning on doing a video today. I was just going to put together this 12-volt monster truck ride-on toy, and I struggled so much with this first step I thought I have to make a video to help others out. As you can see here, I have the toy unboxed and I have it sitting upside down as per the instructions. And this was the piece that I had really trouble working out, how to get this first frame in. So I'll kind of show you how it's in, and then I'll pull it out and put it back in because I watched someone do it over about 3 seconds. It looks super easy. And then I realized there was a bunch of other steps. And so as you can see, the motor's here. There's a little shaft that got pushed through this hole here. This is actually, if you push this down on here, you can see the thread pop through the bottom there. And these shock is underneath. And then this little piece connected onto this steering piece. And I had to pull this pin and this washer off here. I don't know if you can see on there, but when it was shipped, these were through here, so just bent that straight, pulled that out, set that on top there was the first step. Then the second step, on the steering rack, you'll see there's kind of a suspension piece, some bearings, a couple of washers, and a nut. So what you're gonna wanna do is, firstly, maybe take a photo or video of how this looks when it's all together, or I guess you can use this video now. Pull each of these nuts off and retain all the pieces that come off to the side separately from each other. So I'm going to go a little bit slowly here. Now I can see here I've got this end of this rack with no thread. I've got this end with a thread. All those pieces are now off. I've got my 2 stacks of pieces here, and I've got the thread here. You can see this bit's sitting here. Those threads are sitting out like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put these pieces back on the way they came. So this washer, the ball bearing set, a washer, and then these 2 plastic pieces with the spring in between. Put those in there nicely. And do the same on the other side. So you've got your piece here. You can see that little piece in the middle. It's facing towards me. I've got my 2 shafts here. It's kind of hard to see the threads. The threads here at the bottom. Basically what I'm going to do here is take this, feed that down so it goes underneath that little steering rack piece, tilt it back up so these threaded ends of the shaft go through the holes, and push that down. All right, now I'll get that washer back on. Push that up underneath here. Try and keep my hands out of the way. Okay, push that back in. Bend both. There we go. Bend both sides around there so it doesn't come out. So next step is to connect these drive motors. So I'm going to clip these together. See there, click that together. Our front bottom plate looks like this. This goes in across here, and then we can use some screws to fix that in. This piece here, this metal piece, going to go on here and then over the top here. In the manual, it talks about adding some lubricant. That's going to be right here. So a bit of grease or something in there. All right, let's get the front wheel on. The front wheel is kind of this flat one, as opposed to this one here that has this piece coming out. You're going to want to make sure you have this piece on there, and then you're going to want to slide that front wheel on. Take your large washer and your nut, bit of a push. 17 millimeter. All right, I went ahead and slid in this rear axle here. Once you've got that slid in, you can take your motor, slide that over the top, slide that motor nicely in there like that. Make sure you have these pieces on here on either side before you put your back wheel on. We're going to take these pieces so this piece, this end goes on this side, slide up and underneath and click in place on either side. You're going to then take this piece, looks like that, 4 screw holes in it, pops over the top, 6 screws on either side to get that together. All right, I put the back wheels on, flip the cart over, did a couple of easy steps like putting one of those hubcaps on and putting the back wheels on. So I'm just going to keep moving here on to the next step. Next step is this windshield, which just clicks on here and then screws in with a couple of screws. Next up is these rear view mirrors. These just pop right in here. Make sure you can't pull them out. All right, so in the hood, you've got these tabs here that go in here. And that just clicks nicely into place. Next is the steering wheel. You've got a little screw in here and a bolt in the other side. You put your thumb over where the bolt end is, put a screwdriver in there, you can just unscrew that, pull that screw out, make sure you keep that nut. Connect this little connector. Feed that through. And you're just going to make sure this is lined up right. Just tuck that in there. Line that up so it's nice and straight. And then you can pop that nut and bolt back in that same hole it came out of. Next to these armrests, they just click in place here. These little tabs go on the inside. We have our light bar here. Okay, for this light bar, you've got this little connector on the end here. Just zoom out a bit so you can see the whole light bar here. Got this little connector on the end. Goes down this little hole here. And then you can reach underneath. And then you can see there, you can feed that connector back through there. You can connect it to that connect it to that open connect there. And then click it in place in the back. While we're here and open, this right here says charge there. This right here is your charging port for when you need to charge it. All right, seat's gonna go in. You got these two little clippies. Just make sure they're in there. One of mine had fallen out. I had to put it back in. You can clip it back in. Take a screwdriver and just get these into place. You'll feel when it's gonna go through there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.